Good morning and welcome to our session. My name is Brent and I'm here from For Anything, and we're going to be speaking about business-to-business social networking and how to actually go about that. So my wife often takes me to go and watch a romantic comedy with her, and after watching a couple, you start gaining the fact that there's a pattern that they all follow. So it starts off with the guy seeing the beautiful girl, chasing after her. And the girl's, of course, aloof and coy until she sees an endearing quality in the gentleman. And then the dating ensues. And that's usually that 5-minute musical montage of them driving their bikes through the park and eating ice cream and having fun and giggles. And that, obviously, the next phase of the movie is some sort of upset and is redeemed by a big romantic swooping gesture from usually the guy. And then, of course, happily ever after. That's what the audience is looking for, isn't it? Now, as cliched as this Hollywood genre is, it does teach us something about our relationships. The fact that every relationship that we have, whether it be social, whether it be a romantic relationship, or whether it be a business relationship, goes through different phases. So today we're going to look at how social media can be used within each phase of a business-to-business relationship, and how to use social media to leverage the advantage to your favor. So, of course, we know all here have heard what social media is all about. You've even heard on the radio, follow our link. We've posted it on Facebook. We tweeted this. Or we've got a new tweet in. So social media is becoming a lot more accepted, and all that it's about is conversation and interaction with a large group of people. But how do you use this in a B2B scenario, in a B2B marketing campaign, for example? Well, the first thing you need to realize about B2B marketing is majority of the interaction and relationship is built between two decision makers of each of the businesses. So today we're going to have a look at how, through each of the phases of a business relationship, we're going to be comparing them to something that we all know, which is a romantic relationship, but how to use social media to gain that advantage. So the first phase of the relationship is the flirtation. So guys and girls get dressed up, they go to a club, and what are they there for? Well, they're there to present themselves. They're there to let people know who they are, as well as, of course, to gain some attention. So the point is that in your social media strategy as a business, this first phase is where your B2C and business-to-consumer marketing happens. Now, of course, we're focusing on B2B here, so you might ask, Brent, why are you putting a B2C explanation in for me? Well, the point is, your goal is to woo over the C-levels, the decision makers, the business owners. You want to make sure that if they see your online presence, that convinces them to use your business. So when you're setting up your social media presence, you need to think of three things in this phase. You need to think of your content, your graphical appeal, as well as the channels that you follow. So your content, basically, you need to ask yourself, what am I talking about? Now, there's a big fad going around at the moment is, the moment you're on social media, you need to retweet or you need to link share. And yeah, that's very cool. That's very nice. Find some nice article or a blog about something and you share it. Great. But be careful. You want to be the cat and not the copycat. You want to make sure that the content is about your business. Or if you do share a link that has some relativity to your business, make sure you explain the way that it's relative. Explain, well, I'm sharing this with you, but while you're reading through this article, think of my business in this way. How do you do that? Well, if you're retweeting, put a comment in your retweet. If you're sharing on Facebook, make sure that the comment makes the person think, this business wants to tell me this. The next thing that you need to look at is make it interesting, make it graphical. Nobody wants to read a 5-page blog about your product. But if it's graphical, if there's a video, if there's some sort of presentation, now that gets shared a lot quicker and it becomes more viral than having some long explanation put on your blog. The next thing you focus on is your channels. So the idea is that you don't want to necessarily just be stuck in one or two places. Now, most social media experts, and I put that in quotes, or people that are trying to engage in social media, focus on the two big ones, Facebook and Twitter. which is all really good and well. But you also want to focus on the channels where the people that are actually going to do business with you are. And that might not necessarily be on a social media channel. It might be on just a basic forum that your industry engages on. So make sure that the channels that you focus on are focused on industry specific and focus on people who actually are decision makers. So there's 500 million people on Facebook. How many of them own a business, or a decision maker in a business? Not that many.
How many of them are over 12?
Okay. Actually, your biggest growth on Facebook is at the above 50s, just by the way. At the moment, it is. So basically, the idea that you want to focus on is making sure there's different channels that you can engage in. The more channels, the more people you attract. That's B2C, of course. But also, focus on where the decision makers are.